that limiting belief that a lot of us can carry of I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy. And so we have to prove it to ourselves. We're proving it by being this independent, strong superhero woman that I've just got to take on the world. No, you are those things already. Why not be able to accept it, build that as your foundation so it can push you further in life?
Hey there. Welcome to Parties to Playdates. I'm Kendall.
And I'm Jess. We're here to fill your day with warmth and laughter.
Join us as we navigate the chaos and joy of everyday life.
We're all about sharing real-life moments with a dash of humor and practical tips.
So grab your coffee and settle in for a cozy chat.
Because here, every moment is a story worth sharing.
No topic is off limit.
And every listener is a friend.
Let's get this party started.
Welcome to Parties to Playdates.
Good
we
morning.
have a special guest this morning, the fabulous Danita Young, who I forgot your name last night. I was laying in bed and I was like, oh my gosh, what is her last name? I had a moment where I was like, am I losing my mind? Do I not know her last name? It was so funny. Danita is an amazing woman who, the best way to describe her, she's a coach, mentor, badass, find your best life kind of person. She is the founder, creator of the Align to Thrive community. So we want to welcome Danita.
Yay.
Also,
Hey guys.
also a fellow prego mommy.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yep.
this is Kendall.
Hello.
Kendall, do you have your pregnant belly just hanging out like this?
Girl, yes. Every day, all day long. Because I'm very uncomfortable with anything else.
How many weeks are you in? Where are you at?
I'm 25 weeks, but I look like I'm 8 months.
No, he doesn't.
I get compliments everywhere I go. They're like, oh my gosh, are you okay? Are you due so soon? I'm like, well, if you think January's soon, and I blow their minds. They're like, are you having twins? I'm like, no.
She's just a tiny frame.
It's great. But yes, it is out and about.
Dude, that's hilarious. I'm just going to stand up really quick so you can really see what this really looks like right now. So,
Oh my God, yes.
I love it.
You do too. I love it. So good. It's professional, the blazer, and then it's peekaboo.
It's like party on the
total
top, mommy on the bottom.
It's like us wearing no pants.
straight. So facts right there. Yep. So I saw your belly sticking out. I was like, we can be friends immediately. Like this is going to work out.
I'm normally in the big oversized tee, but lately it's just been crop tops.
I have not done the crop tops. I've just done the blazer that peekaboos. So I like this. There's different styles for letting the baby say hello to everyone, say hello to the world, you know?
Yeah, no shame in my game.
I love it. Well, Kendall, let's start with you. What did Sarah do this week?
Well, it was my birthday weekend, so I just want to do a big shout out to Dolly Parton's pirate show, the dinner show. It is absolutely fantastic. So it was me, my husband, and our 2-year-old son that we went. And of course, my husband always tries to go over the top for everything, which I totally appreciate and I'm so grateful for. He got us floor seats, so we were at the very bottom, like the cast members were right there saying hello to us pretty much. And they had live animals, which I had no idea about, which made Maverick so happy. They had all these parrots flying around in the beginning. And then one of the ladies who was a parrot handler walked right on up to Maverick and was like, say hello to Pepper. And the little bird would wave its foot and it was so cute. And Maverick was like, hi. It was so adorable. They had sea lions that were all around us and all in the water and everything. And they also had dogs that were doing dog races in the water. It was a great time.
I had no idea they had animals.
I didn't either. Ryan did tell me because we had VIP stuff. He's like, we do have to go an hour and a half early, but we get to see the sea lions play in the water before. We can go to their VIP bar area. And Mav ran around and followed this one pirate that came and told stories. And he was so entertaining. And Maverick was awed. He was dressed like a little pirate, which was so cute. And he was just like, look at that pirate. Like he was so interested and he didn't even know what he was talking about because I didn't even know what he was talking about, the stories. I wasn't even paying attention, but I was just watching Maverick just be so in love with this other pirate. It was so great. It was such a good time. The food was great. The service was wonderful. It was almost 2 hours. They have a great gift shop. If anyone's questioning if they should go, you definitely need to go.
That is so
It
fun.
was awesome. And that's all I've been thinking about. We've been watching pirate movies and pirate shows for the past few days.
I love it.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, Danita, I pre-warned you about our fun stories. So, do you have something for us?
I absolutely do. So I didn't know that when you sneezed, you peed. So that was an interesting one that I came into.
The clubs.
Yeah,
Is this your first baby?
it is. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, congratulations.
So I think the first baby definitely should almost be filmed so all the other mothers could get a good laugh at it for a remembrance of the very first time they came into all this experience. But I think one of the funniest ones that just happened recently is I went on a hike with my family, came back, I'm sitting in the tub. I look down and I see this yellow crusted stuff on my nipples. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the colostrum is coming in. So I scream from the bathroom and I'm like, babe, the colostrum, it's coming in. And immediately you could hear the laptops close. He runs into the bathroom, the footsteps coming into the bathroom. He's like, what do I get? What do I grab? Where's the syringes? And he's just like, frantic. And I just start laughing because it's just he's first time dad, right? And so we're first time into this together. And I'm like, this should literally be filmed like a reality TV show that people could just sit back and watch this. And so we laughed, we had a good laugh, and we have no idea what the hell we're doing, but here we are.
That's part of the process. Then your milk supply will come in, and then the
yeah. Then the real
party starts.
Juice comes flowing.
Things get very impressive after that.
Oh yeah, your boobs are gonna look amazing if they already don't.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you've got a lot to look forward to.
It's hilarious.
That's so funny.
I would say the last thing that was really funny was I had these little peas, like they feel like they're just like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have the best pee of my life. And I sit on the toilet and there's these trickles. And I'm like, what the heck? So I got done swimming. I just went to the bathroom, got done swimming, and then I walked outside and Jay was coming to pick me up. And I was like, okay. And I was in my swimsuit already, had a towel wrapped around me. I was like, I feel like one of those little trickles. I'm standing on the sidewalk. And then all of a sudden, as I went pee, it went like a full-fledged piss on the sidewalk outside. And I just sat there and I'm like, people are going to freak out thinking my water just broke. And I'm just like, I got to move from this spot. So I just kept walking and I get in the car and I was like, Jay just total peed my pants out in the middle of public. We're just laughing on these little nuances. It's just, I'm glad I'm 40 coming into this rather than 20. I feel like I would have so much embarrassment, but now that I'm 40, I have no desire to care what other people think of me. So I'm like, you know what? This is me, come as I am. So it's great.
Oh, I love that. The sneezing when you pee, even now, if I'm walking and I feel a sneeze coming, I do a stop and cross my legs. And I've done it so consistently that if I do it walking across the kitchen and then I'll stop and Andrew will be like, you're going to sneeze. and then I do it. It's so stupid. But I'm like, it's either that or pee my pants a little bit. It's just, we have to make choices when after you've had so many kids, your poor bladder and all the things down there aren't as strong as they used to be. That is so good.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So something else to look forward to.
Yep.
I had a funny, actually freaking adorable situation happen at work the other day. We got a bunch of new holiday bags in. And we have this really big one. It's completely faux fur. And I'm talking 1.5 inches long, the most luscious, soft fur you have ever felt. You just want to pet it. This little girl came in. She was probably 2 or 3 years old. And she's bebopping around the store with her tiny little kid voice. And the next thing I know, she is on top of the bag, on the shelf, gets on the bottom shelf. She has tackled, bear hugged the fur purse, and she's like, oh my gosh, it's so soft, and she's rubbing her face all over the purse, and she's stroking it, and she's like, oh mom, it's so soft. She's like, oh hey little guy. She's tugging it too. It's like it's the weirdest shaped teddy bear in the world. But she was in love with it. She was the cutest little thing in the world, and it reminded me of that Minions movie, the little girl that is always like, it's so fluffy.
It's so fluffy.
She like loses her mind. I saw that in real life with the fur purse.
That's
It was so cute.
The Minions. It's funny that you brought it back to the Minions movie with her, the
Oh my
fuzzy.
God. Yeah, it's
She,
so funny.
I say, get that girl an animal, you know?
Oh, for real.
Hmm.
I'm like, either she has animals or she just loves animals. There's something going on there. He was so cute. So sweet. Today we're finishing off our mental health awareness month. Danita does a lot of work with anxiety and helping people overcome that and work through that. So that's why we have her on today, because she's a specialist in that area and has some amazing tools. To start off, tell us a little bit how you got started into that area.
Yeah, I would definitely say it found me. I did not find it. I would say it started off by being an entrepreneur. One, that takes a lot of mental health to be an entrepreneur.
Mm.
So for myself, I was going through my own journey with it. At the same time, I opened up a worldwide fitness company selling at-home fitness products to women and became a coach during that process. And I found that women don't need more workout plans and more nutrition plans. They have plenty of those. What I found out is that consistency, motivation, and things like that were more of their biggest issue. And if you think about what really is underneath motivation and consistency, well, you're going to find some mental health underneath there. Is going to be some limiting beliefs or self-sabotage factors and elements like that. So it was a twofold. So me, myself, because your business is only going to be as good as yourself, your internal state, and vice versa with health and fitness journey. So the combination of those two. And at the same time, my brother was going through some addictions. And so a family situation. So it was at all three angles, it was coming at me. And it was almost like learn this or like sink or swim. It was like one of those moments in my life where it was like, you better figure this stuff out, or your business fails, or your family fails, or your clients fail. That's where it started, is really it found me. And I'm grateful for it now, because now learning the tools that I have, ultimately the happy ending is my family has never been better. I have never been better. And my clients, I was able to find out what was getting in their way. And that to me was the biggest gift I could possibly have received, to be able to turn around and really help people on a root level, not through the pharmaceutical industry that we're given, or the talk therapy, walking around in circles that we're given. The traditional methods truly, in my opinion, have failed a lot of people. And so just giving them a new way out is awesome.
Yeah, I love that. Have you dealt with anxiety throughout your life? Have you had any personal experiences where you've seen a difference before compared to now with the tools you have and what you've experienced and learned throughout the years?
Yes. What's interesting is I went through my own anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts. And that lasted for about 8 years. And once I finally got out of it, I looked back on my life and realized it was actually 40 years of my life that I've been in a state of contraction. Had no idea. And so it's almost like when you feel like you can't control your internal state, meaning, okay, I have a happy day. Now I have a bad day. Now I have a happy day and I have a bad day. And you feel like you're flung around with these good and bad days, is really where I was. I didn't have much control of my internal state. It was always depending on my outcome or depending on my outside state. And so by doing the work that I have, it's now given me control over my internal state. And that is a reflection of your external state. So you're going to find that when you've really got your internal state where you need it to be, like energy attracts like energy. And so you're going to start to see that there's a ripple effect that occurs in your outside world. Call it more success, call it more connection with family. But to me, I lived a life of worry and concern and constantly just worst case scenarios and what if this and what if that, and just doom and gloom like a cloud covering over me. But on the outside, you saw this really happy, really bubbly, really friendly, outgoing, successful individual on the outside. But the inside, it was just immediately when the camera shut off, I would just be like, and it would just be back to, okay, what's the next thing I need to worry about and hyperfixation on?
Yeah. What do you feel like one of your major tools, especially for identifying where your anxiety is coming from or causing it? What is a tool that you use or something that we could share with our listeners to help them identify the situation they're in and see, oh, this is possible to change this or work through this?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of hype is going on that it's the nervous system. And I'm going to totally disagree.
I love it.
So everything is about somatic work and breathing and tapping and EMDR, magnetic, where you're putting this electrode on your brain. And there's so much stuff right now that's getting talked about for the nervous system and regulating the nervous system. And so for me, what I found is that what actually controls the nervous system is going to be your survival brain. Call it your reptilian brain. And so I went and became a neuroscience coach and NLP and started studying what could this be? What really is underneath the nervous system? The nervous system can't just flail out of whack on its own. And so underneath the survival brain, I found there's the amygdala, which is your fear center, your basal ganglia, which is your familiar center. It loves the past than it does the future. And then your reticular activating system, which is your belief center. Those three components, when they don't have the right tools, they are controlling your life. You're not controlling them. And that's where people really get spun out. That's where their nervous system gets spun out. So you can try to throw the Band-Aids on it all day long by throwing the cold water on your face and pulling your earlobes all day long. People can find relief for that 15 minutes. You're always going to say, well, I'm back to the anxiety. What I found is those three components of the brain. And when you are able to give those new tools, what it does is it turns on your prefrontal cortex. This is your logic, your facts, your rationale. And when your survival brain now meets your prefrontal cortex, now you're in a state of balance. It's amazing.
It's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny you're drinking coffee because when you said people say, oh, your nervous system, because when I had crippling anxiety, I stopped drinking caffeine. And I will say that did help a lot.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It helps. And I still don't drink caffeine. I drink tea, but that is the only, and that's my pick me up. And my husband always is so funny. I'll be like, oh, I'm so tired, I need to pick me up. He's like, oh, you need some tea? And I'm like, yeah, because that's as far as I'll take it because I'm never going to go back to those super high anxiety ridden from caffeine, too much stimulation, all the things. So yeah, when you did that, I was like, oh my gosh, speaking of nervous system.
Speaking of destroying your nervous system.
I do the same thing. I feel like that coffee just enhances whatever state that we're in. So if we're happy, the coffee enhances the happiness. And if we're in a state of anxiety, it just enhances the anxiety for me. So right there with you, I'm a tea person as well.
That's funny because I'll be at work and people are chugging those, any kind of energy drink. It doesn't even have to be Red Bull. But they're like, oh, do you need some of this? I'm like, absolutely not. Number one, no, because my baby does not need that. Number two, my anxiety would be through the roof and I'd have a heart attack. So absolutely not. No,
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to work for me. Not at all.
Talk to us about some of the free Overcoming Anxiety Masterclass.
Yeah, I just opened up a 2-day anxiety challenge where I walk people through the different modules that I do to help clear out the fear, the worry, the panic, all that type of stuff. And so just show them what relief looks like and to start training your body what relief and peace and joy. Our bodies become so familiar with more of the opposite, the doom, the gloom, the worry, the panic, right? And so it's about retraining the body to then do that. And so for 2 days, I'm taking them through a 2-day challenge to show them opening these layers that I feel like nobody's talking about and showing them how to take control. And it's such an easier and faster way because whatever they're doing right now is clearly not working. And so to show them new tools is really awesome to give them that. So that's currently what I'm doing right now is that 2-day challenge. I'll send you the link so you can share with anybody who wants to check it out. Yeah.
Yeah. As you work through stuff with people, what are some of the top things, especially for women, that is the root of the anxiety, the root of a lot of this unbalanced mode that people are in?
Sometimes for women, it can be what we've learned to be, right? So if our moms were always in a state of, oh, I got to worry about finances, or I got to worry about my mother, or I got to worry about this. It's almost a learned trait. We just start to be like, oh, that's the good mom. We got to worry about everything. We got to take care of everybody else's needs before myself, right? I've got to be this martyr in life and carry all this heaviness and all this burden. People pleasing, right? Constantly doing things for others. Those are some really big ones that I see. I work with individuals that have even intrusive thoughts, even just worrying about harming their children. That could be one. And then what it does is it continues to keep repeating it. The brain keeps repeating it to try to protect you, to be like, oh, remember when you had that thought? Oh, when you had that thought, and it just keeps you in a state of freaking insanity, man. Driving has actually been really hard for some people. Being social has been really hard for some people. Yeah, some people just wake up and they're like, man, here I am in Groundhog Day, miserable, not happy. They're not in their purpose. They're not in their passion. They haven't found the thing that really ignites them yet. And it's because they're looking outside of themselves rather than the internal of what they're already good at. They're trying to constantly search for this thing. It's like a carrot on a stick. So those are some of the things that I've seen where it stems from, is those elements.
In our culture too, so much of Instagram and Pinterest, and there's all these things that it's like, oh, live up to this, oh, look like this, oh, your house is supposed to look like this, oh, your life is supposed to look like this. And that constant drive, not just only for our kids, for us, for our families. It's such a weird culture that we live in that nobody's talking about. And it's consuming people and affecting people, and they don't even realize it because they're just like, oh, this is what everybody's doing. This is what we all need to be doing. So I think that's interesting as part of that.
I was thinking about when you were saying women go into this like, oh, this is how we're supposed to be. This is what we're supposed to be doing. Everyone else is first. We're on the back burner. Literally made me think of postpartum with like our last episode when we were talking with Savannah. And I'm so curious what your thoughts are on how you're going to navigate your postpartum stuff when you're breastfeeding every 2 hours or every 30 minutes if they're doing those marathon feeds and you're so strung out and so tired and you haven't showered in a few days or whatever it is. You haven't eaten for hours and you're just like, baby comes first. I can see now when you were saying all of that, really how we can go into some postpartum issues, whether it's depression or anxiety or no self-care whatsoever. I was curious on, have you thought about any kind of postpartum stuff with you coming into being a new mother?
Oh, definitely. You have to look ahead, right? It's always about having a bigger picture, a broader perspective in front of you of what's coming and how to prepare yourself for that. And if you think it's not going to happen to you,
right.
That's when it hits you upside the head harder. My OBGYN, right? She's been asking me a lot of questions. She goes, well, I've got a lot of girls that are struggling with this postpartum depression. And she knows that I'm an anxiety coach. And she's like, what's your thoughts about it? And I said, look at it like it's a fire. The hormones is the match. It's after the delivery, your estrogen and your progesterone are plummeting literally overnight. And then you add sleep loss on top of that. And then that's the spark that lights. And then your mind is the wood. And this is where you have those things I was talking about, whether it's just limiting beliefs underneath the surface or unresolved trauma that we're shoving down in our subconscious, right? Or consciously, we can be like, I'm fine, everything's good. But subconsciously, we're like, no, we're not. We got a bunch of suppression. And those chemicals are where serotonin, dopamines, and GABA become the fuel. And that's what sets off these survival brain things. And then the environment would be the gasoline. The environment would be not asking for support or, hey, I've got it, I'm good. Alternatively, if we can actually flip that, there's going to be a lot of great solutions to actually not throw gasoline on the fire. But most women, when they are not in a world of receiving, they've been givers their whole life. It ends up becoming then the entire flame, the entire fire of this postpartum. And so my way of looking through it is I am definitely the perfectionist, people pleaser, everything that I'm saying right here. I am that person. And so knowing that about myself, how I have prepared myself for this is, it was really funny. I had one of my mother-in-laws and she's like, hey, I want to come out and be there to help support you with the baby. And I was like, great. All about it. Because the new me's like, yep, let's do this. Come on out. And she's like, well, yeah, I could. And my partner's standing right next to me. And he's like, oh, you don't really have to. And I looked at him and I was like, oh, yo, no, she's definitely coming. If she's in volunteering, she's definitely coming. And she goes, yeah, I could even come out for a month. And he's like, no, maybe a week. And I looked at him and I said, absolutely not. You can leave the room. Absolutely.
Like
a month.
Wonderful.
I said, you know what? Pack your bags. Let's go 2 or 3 months. Come on down. Let's have a party. And his jaw dropped because he's just like, wow, like I'm not used to this version of Danita where she just is actually amplifying. Hey, come on in. Let's do this. Yeah. You want to cook me meals, clean my house and take care of me? Because I told him, I said, I'm your baby. You're taking care of me. All right. I've got my own diaper that I'm going to need changing. Okay. So you're in charge of me. They're going to be in charge of everything else. And so if I wake up and have that clean house and the food and et cetera. And so anybody that's volunteered very lightly in the past me, those are the ones that I would have turned down. I'm good. I've got this. That's the superwoman we all want to be. Right. But I realized you're superwoman when you have a community of support surrounding you. So my sister reached out. She's like, hey, what type of meals? I'm like, oh yeah, let me go ahead and give you some ideas. I want this, all in my freezer, stack it up. Perfect. Come on over. And then I had a friend that she's like, hey, how can I help? I said, oh, I've got a list of cleaning I want you to do because I know you're a clean freak. So yeah, come on over and I'm going to give you a list. And I literally have it so planned out that I have people coming over and already have all their things. And why is it? Because those little subtle things, instead of turning them down, instead I'm leaning into it saying, oh, absolutely. And I'm giving them, what do they need? They actually need the next step. They're opening the door to support you. Are you opening that door and inviting them in? And so for me, I've opened all 17 of my doors and said, come on in, come on over, and we're going to have some party. We're going to have some fun with this.
That is wonderful. How many weeks are you? She said you were due in October.
Yeah, so I've got 4 weeks left.
Woo!
Or 2.5.
Yeah, you never know. I'm like, it could be.
Or 5. You
Yeah.
never know. Babies come
Or
what
6.
they want.
You go 42. Yeah. That is so awesome. Yeah, because I was so curious. I was like, I wonder if she's doing, and I've seen those dump parties. Friends come over and they make you all the crock pot dump meals or whatever, and then they freeze them for you so you don't have to worry about it. I'm like, that's a great idea to help with the food aspect. But people coming over to clean, huge. Because you're right. When you wake up or come out of literally your dungeon that you're going to be in, I don't want to say dungeon. That's probably a horrible word. Your little oasis in your bedroom where you're feeding baby all the time. And you come out to a beautiful, clean home that you don't have to touch. Your brain is going to be so much more clean and fresh and open to positive energy than if you come out and there's dirty dishes and there's clothes all over the floor and your dogs haven't been out. That's huge. I would love for someone to stay for a month, which is hilarious. My sister actually did come and stay for 6 weeks, and I was that person. She's like, how can I help you? And I would say, there's nothing you can do because I'm breastfeeding. And that's every time she asked me. We would just sit on the couch and watch TV and go out and do things. But she would always say, how can I help you? How can I help you? And I would always turn her down because I couldn't think of anything for her to do. Because I was like, I just need to feed the baby and that's it. She's like, oh, okay, well, I can hold him after. I'm like, it's okay. I don't know. So I see where you're coming from. I like that point of view. That's huge. And what a positive way of seeing it.
And awesome that you have such a big group of people to surround you during that time, because it is such a powerful benefit to you and to your baby. And that's so exciting. How fun.
Yeah. And to your partnership, because I know it's a lot on your partner, literally having to take care of you, change your diapers, change baby diapers, clean, keep up with the household things while you can't do much and work and do all the things. It'll be great for you guys as well.
Yeah, I think the work mental health wise leading up to this has been really wonderful. I've always been so afraid of just the pregnancy hormones. Honestly, you just hear about them and I'm like, oh man, I'm terrified of myself, what's going to happen. And I've been really surprised. I've done a lot of research on hormones, and that the bottom hormones that control all the other previous hormones is going to be insulin and cortisol. And if your insulin is regulated and your cortisol is regulated, all the other hormones are more balanced. And I have just cruised through this pregnancy with very little mood swings. And I'm so grateful for that, because if I don't listen to my true heart's desires, dude, I turn into the absolute volcano of all volcanoes you've ever seen. I've learned that if you're not listening to your intuition, truly, if you're burying things underneath the rug, which is basically your subconscious, so you're pushing things down, that shit pops up every time we go through the different hormone stages. And so I've been so grateful that I learned that prior to this. And the same thing with coming into postpartum, listening to your true heart's desires. And people want to help. It's up to us if we decide to let them in. It really is. Because I could be sitting here and I could have pushed everybody away and then would have been doing this all on my own. But anytime somebody cracked open a door, I swung that thing open and said, come on in, and here's what you're doing, and here's your role. And I have it all built out. And that's just, And that limiting belief that a lot of us can carry of I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy. And so we have to prove it to ourselves. We're proving it by being this independent, strong superhero woman that I've just got to take on the world. No, you are those things already. Why not be able to accept it, build that as your foundation so it can push you further in life? Mm-hmm. That's my motto with it. One of my biggest learning lessons was my ex-husband had back surgery. And I remember the whole ward was coming over and they were trying to give me food and love and care and all this type of stuff. And I kept turning everyone down. I was like, no, I'm good. And I remember the bishop came over to my house and he looked at me and he goes, how is it when you give service, you love giving? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, how do you feel when you do that for other people by giving? I was like, amazing. Oh, I just feel so good when I give to others. My whole heart feels amazing. My whole body feels good. I love giving service. And he goes, so what happens when you think other people give service? I said, yeah, same thing, I guess. And he goes, yeah. So if you turn somebody down, what happens? I said, I guess they never get that feeling. And he goes, yeah. So you're stopping the ripple effect of what this beautiful gift is of giving and receiving. And so instead, you can actually make people feel better by actually doing stuff for you. I was like, oh my gosh, I never looked at it from that angle. I always thought of putting people out, but people love giving. They love it. They love giving service because it makes them feel so good. And it's so important for the human soul to give to others. And so by learning that valuable lesson, it stuck with me. And now I just recognize, hey, make them feel good. Let them come over. Let them be a part of it. Let them take care of you. And you can be that strong, independent superhero woman that you're looking for, even massively more because you have a whole team of support underneath you.
So good.
Can you give us one tool to get past the situation where you're feeling anxiety come on, or you're already in the middle of it, or something along the lines of that?
Yeah, I'll give you two of my top favorite ones that work really well. One is recognizing that it's not you. It is literally your amygdala. Because what happens is people self-identify with it. They say, I am anxious. And when you become the thing, then you're the enemy. And then what are you doing? You're attacking yourself. You're not going anywhere fast knowing that it's yourself. So my first thing I like to do is separate. It's not you, it's your amygdala. Your amygdala, the way it's designed, is built to protect you. And it doesn't know reality. It doesn't fact check. And for instance, if I go and have anxiety when I'm about ready to go public speak, the fear is by messing up, but the amygdala thinks there's a tiger in front of me because it works in the world of illusions and what ifs. So pay attention to your mind when it says, well, what if this happens? And what if this worst case scenario happens, right? So what it's doing is trying to protect you, to try to prepare for all the worst case scenarios. And what it does then is then it sends the nervous system a state of putting you in your sympathetic, which is your fight or flight or freeze, right? That's the nervous system when it gets stuck in that place. And when it's in that place, it's going to release chemicals, either cortisol or adrenaline. And why? If you think about it, adrenaline makes you run faster and be stronger. So it literally thinks if there's a tiger in front of you, it's going to run fast and be strong so that you can be in survival. But if you're trying to public speak and all of a sudden you have this surge that's run faster and be stronger, it's really scary because then you're like, wait, what is this? It feels uncomfortable, feels out of the ordinary. So now we start to panic thinking, we start judging the way our body starts to feel. Some people feel like the heaviness on their chest or the shakiness in their hands or their armpit sweating. And then when we don't normalize it, when we exasperate it, fearing that chemical release, then what it does is it comes back up to the amygdala and says, no, dude, it's really big. It's like, now I have my physical symptoms are arising and I have to public speak. So your amygdala doesn't fact check. Remember, it doesn't know what's in front of you. It says, oh, you're saying it's not just one tiger. There's two tigers. Okay, no problem. Let me sound the alarm and hit the nervous system again and release the chemicals even more so that you can run faster. So then all of a sudden you get the second surge of adrenaline where it's going to enhance it even more. And then all of a sudden you're going to go back to being like, oh no, it's getting worse. Maybe I need to go to the ER. Maybe I'm losing control of my body. And so when you fear it again, it goes back up to the amygdala, and the amygdala is like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. It's not just two. You've got a whole family of tigers. Okay, hold on. No worries. Let me sound the alarm. You see where I'm going with this, right? And so this is where panic attacks come from. And so for those that can actually recognize that your body is designed in the most magical way, and that there's nothing wrong with your body, there's nothing wrong with you, and there's nothing wrong with your body. Nobody has taught you the tools. And so when you're able to actually recognize how beautifully designed our body is, instead of panicking and worrying, you can go, oh, you just surged me through adrenaline. You're trying to help me. You're trying to protect me. You're trying to have me run fast and be strong. That's not what I need right now. Amygdala, all I need is actually to feel more calm. I am safe right now. I am calm. And then what you're doing is you're turning on your prefrontal cortex, like I was saying earlier. When your prefrontal cortex and your amygdala are in balance is when you now have control, and you no longer have the anxiety, because now you've now defeated the very thing that is in your head that is causing the nervous system to spiral. It's the root cause. So that can save so many people, because they're white knuckling Xanax over here. They're white knuckling all this medication, being like, this is the thing that's going to help me. And the control is in the medication, but really the control's in you. It is. And nobody's just taught you that yet. You just need new tools. That's it. I swear to you. That would be one example. And then the second example that I like to share with people is when you have fears, by really understanding the amygdala and how it works, you get to speak back to the amygdala in an entirely new way. That's like facing the fear. And when you face that fear with an entirely new approach, you don't have that fear anymore. That fear no longer is like this cloud that just keeps hanging over your life, because you can't be in fear and peace at the same time. They're entirely different frequencies. So the longer you stay in fear, the more that peace is gone from your life, and vice versa. The more that peace is in your life, the more that fear is out of your life. And that is physics. You can't be in two frequencies at the same time. So what I do is I teach people how to uncover the fear. By removing the fear is how you're going to start to live your life more in that state of peace. Any questions?
Oh, those are fantastic.
Yeah,
I absolutely love it. Thank you.
Yeah, those are good. I've gone through a couple of these with Danita, and it's really interesting when you identify something that is causing basic everyday responses to things, and you don't even realize it. It's your normal everyday, and you're like, oh, this is how I am. And when you take the time to identify it, and then identify what it's causing, and then reverse engineer it to be like, oh, this is how I really think, and this is who I really am. And then the next thing you know, you're like, well, that was dumb. Because it's all these tiny little simple things that you don't even realize are controlling your actions and controlling your thoughts on a regular basis. That when you take the time to start asking questions, like, why am I scared of this? Or why am I having this anxiety? What is actually causing this? What are the thoughts that I'm actually having in that situation? Good example, public speaking. You're like, oh, people are going to make fun of me. People are going to think that I'm dumb. And then you're like, well, am I any of those things? No, I'm smart. And people want to hear what I have to say. And all those little things that you can reverse in your brain to be like, you got it wrong. You're confused, and whatever those come from. I think it's such an amazing, powerful thing. So I appreciate you sharing that one.
Yeah.
Because it's so valuable. Such good information.
I know. Thank you so much for being an open book.
I know. Well, talking about food, it always comes back to food, guys. Danita, do you have a fun recipe to share with us?
I got to do something fall, you guys, because as soon as fall hits, I'm definitely that person that's like, switch it up, make it fun. Life can get boring. So you got to bring in the different pillows. You got to bring in the decorations. You got to switch it up so that way there's some variety in your life, right? I do a London fog. So as you were talking earlier, tea, right? So London fog is basically the lavender tea with, sometimes it's mixed with a black tea, and then you throw some honey in there and some milk, and it's a little tea latte kind of thing is what it is. What I've been doing recently is making a protein banana bread. It's something really easy, you guys. Just look up banana bread recipe. And then all I do is remove some of the excess flour and throw in a couple scoops of protein powder instead. Make it your own. If you like chocolate chips, throw that in there. If you like walnuts, throw that in there. And that has been my go-to. Now, I am not one that likes to do the loaves, so I usually do the muffins, which is same. but that makes it really easy. And the whole freaking house loves it. It's just perfect. And it's super healthy because you got the pumpkin for the fiber, you've got the protein in there. And I always do mine half sugar. So that would be one of my biggest mottos with anything. Anytime you get a drink, ask for half sugar. Anytime you make a recipe, just do half sugar. Really cut that thing down, because the reality is we do not need all of that sugar. Sugar feeds cancer. Sugar feeds all the crap, right? Sugar feeds our acne. Sugar is just ridiculous. And so just by cutting it, you'll start to become more sensitive to it. And then in the end, really put years onto your life because you started cutting it now.
Love it. And muffins cook quicker.
True.
They do cook faster.
That's very true.
That's great. That sounds fantastic. Yummy.
That's even what you could do.
I know.
Veganize it.
100%. I know. Ryan just redid our pantry yesterday. He reorganized it. And it is so beautiful now, because at first we were just like, oh, cans go down here, pasta here, whatever. And he made it so perfect where you can see everything. And I never realized how many lentils I have right now and beans. It is overloading. He's like, you have like 3 of every bean you can ever think of. Here are all your bags of lentils. And I'm like, okay, I'm so sorry. I need to stop buying them. I don't realize I have them. So I'm going to be making a creamy lentil skillet, I guess, or dump skillet. I've been into those dump things recently because I need to figure out what I'm doing with my life once this baby comes. So it's potatoes, which we only really like yellow potatoes because they're just creamier and yummier, and I think they're better. Yellow potatoes, lentils, onions, garlic, spinach or kale, or both, whatever. A little bit of your choice of milk, and then saute it and let it sit and boil and let the lentils soak everything up. And it becomes almost like a dip where you can take pita chips or naan bread or tortilla chips, whatever, and you can dip it. And it's high in protein, high in fiber, all those good things. And a bunch of cumin. You can throw some tahini or olive oil or whatever kinds of spices you want to put in there. And I'm so excited, but that's what I'm going to be doing.
Ooh, yum.
So I can also take it to work. And it's like an easy put in your mouth and walk away.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds really
Because
good.
that's what I need these days.
I know. Yesterday I was working on double dinner
Mm.
because, I love a double dinner. It's so funny because I was planning on them eating this yummy, creamy Parmesan soup. It's a very big hit. I had this chicken in the crock pot to make green chili enchiladas. And I'm pretty sure 3 or 4 people came into the kitchen and were like, oh my gosh, what's that amazing smell? What are we having for dinner? And I was like, soup. And they were like, it doesn't smell like soup. They were all disappointed. And I was like, well, I have chicken for enchiladas in the crock pot. They're like, but why are we eating that for dinner? And I'm like, stop it. We're going to eat that tomorrow. It's going to taste so much better tomorrow. But I just put a bunch of chicken breast in the crock pot with some green chili enchilada sauce, some green chili pepper flakes. And then I had so much that one of my daughters came home. She wanted to do some meal prep for the week. So she took my chicken mixture and added some blended up cottage cheese with it, and then put it on top of that yellow saffron rice for her little meal prep. So we actually got 3 meals out of what I was working on yesterday. But the chicken tasted so good, just slow cooked with all the yummy green enchilada sauce.
Oh, you and your green chilies.
I love
every
me
time
some
you
green chilies. Oh, they're so good. One of these days, I'm going to get some fresh ones again. I'm going to be so happy. It's going to be the best day ever.
Your house will smell so good.
Oh my gosh, it's the best. I love green chilies.
I was interested in your fresh chilies. I was like, wow, should be so in your motherhood for doing that. I'm envious of that. I've never done anything like that before.
Oh, so it's funny you say that because last night when I made that soup, Andrew was like, oh my gosh, this soup is incredible. He's like, talk about comfort food. He's like, how is this so delicious?
So
He
funny.
goes, it's just not right that you're this pretty and you can cook this good. And I was
Well,
like,
also he's missed your cooking for a while
he
too.
has. And I was laughing and I was like, pretty girls can cook good too, And he was like, it's just not fair. And I was like, it's called the total package. And
That is
he
me.
was like, no, he's like, this is grandma level quality cooking. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so funny. I was like, well, I've been cooking for a long time. I'm technically a grandma in cooking years. Like, I've been at this for a while. It was such a funny conversation.
I can't wait for soup weather. I know I have soup probably once a week at least, but soup weather is coming. I cannot wait.
Yeah, soup is my favorite. It's like one of my go-to.
Same.
And most of them are so fast and you can hide so many sneaky vegetables in it.
Yeah.
And you can always quadruple the protein if you want. They're really hard to mess up.
And it's so easy to have leftovers.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
easy.
So anyways, we really appreciate you coming on and visiting with us, Danita.
Thank you so
giving us
much.
some amazing tools. We will post a link for your 2-day masterclass.
No, we really appreciate you taking your time out of your morning and hanging out with us and talking. Oh my God, look how she's frozen. I love
I
it.
know, it's so cute.
It's so cute.
Well, let's do her frozen face. You ready? You frozen like the best, like cutest smile.
So cute.
Oh,
I love that you guys just mimicked that. Yeah, right then you guys froze too on me. Okay, what were you guys saying right before that?
We were thanking you for taking some time out of your morning to spend it with us and being an open book.
Heck yeah.
And giving tips and tools and all your knowledge to us because it's huge to do that. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything that I can do to make that world a better place out there, man. I don't care. I love podcasts because it's, if you think about it, the boomers really showed us it's the news and the television and stuff like that. Well, guess what? Boomers are going away. So what's coming next is all these millennials, right? And all these Gen Zers and stuff. And what we're showing them is that the news is going to be gone, you guys. It's going to be podcasts is where it's going to be at. This is where people are going to be getting all of their media. Because it's just going to change. No young people are sitting and watching the news. That's newspaper type of old. So you kind of look at the phase of it. So it's so cool to be on here and to share some wisdom and hopefully help someone. That's my goal. Yeah.
I love it. We'll have a beautiful day with your lovely baby bump.
Yeah.
And we will talk soon.
I love it. Okay, awesome. You guys have a great one.
Bye.
Nice meeting you guys.
Lovely to meet you.
All right, bye all.
Bye-bye. And that, party people, wraps up another delightful episode of Parties to Playdates.
We hope you're leaving with a smile, a story, and maybe a tip or two.
Remember, life's journey is better shared with a friend.
And we're so grateful to be part of yours.
If you enjoyed today's chat, don't forget to rate and subscribe to our show.
Your support keeps our community growing and our stories flowing. We want to hear from you. Please send us your thoughts, ideas, and questions to partiestoplaydates@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Parties to Playdates.
Until next time, keep embracing the chaos and finding the joy.
Take care and stay connected, party people.
Bye for now, and don't forget to laugh a little extra today.
Bye.